Here is dedicated to Rachalea Bas Rav Chaim Tzvi. Hello. Okay, so we're going right into questions. What does the Torah say about Bashert the second time around? Is it announced that Ploni Bat Ploni will marry Mr. X the first time, and the second time she will marry Mr. Y? Well, it's like this. The Torah does say, the Gemara tells us that 40 days before a person is born, a voice of Hashem declares that this man's daughter will be married to this man's son. However, having said that, the Mekubalim, and in fact Malbim does mention this as well, maintain that this original zivug, this original match, is not between someone and their first spouse, but it's a match between the soul and the body. So Bat Ploni La Ploni means that this person's body will match this person's soul. So what that means concretely is that there are no mistakes. So you may feel that your soul should be in a slender, tall, blonde body, but no, this zivug was min hashemayim before you were born. The second zivug, which is the zivug between a woman and a man, goes according to merit, as it says in the Gemara. So that means that a person's actual first marriage, which is in a certain sense their second marriage, the first one being their body and soul, the second one being their actual spouse, is determined by merit. Now this of course doesn't mean Hashem isn't aware beforehand of what will be, just as He is with everything else. It also says, Bayit Ploni La Ploni, this person will live in this house. But His awareness and our choices are really two worlds. We do have free choice. So because of this, both with the first marriage and with the second marriage, we have to take responsibility for our choices, and we have to have bitachon that Hashem will bring about whatever results have to be brought about for our benefit. But there's no difference in this regard between a first marriage and a second marriage. My very religious sister is depressed because in her mid-30s she has, quote, only, unquote, 7 kids. According to her, most of her religious friends have at least 10 or 12. Are religious Jews really expected to repopulate the world? Do you think that having all those kids is a trend or a competition? Or one more lifestyle choice turned into an absolute law for these people? I assume it's not an actual law to constantly reproduce. I suggested adoption. If she really wants to raise more children, she looked at me like I lost my mind. Apparently, religious Jews will give birth to babies, but most of them do not believe in adopting the many Jewish children in Jewish orphanages. Aren't Jews commanded to take care of the orphans? Why don't they? Does this too need to become a trend? How can people only have love to give to biological children, bemoan the fact that they have too few children, and refuse to take in a child who needs them? This doesn't sound Jewish to me. How can I understand my sister's point of view? I don't want her to be upset, and I don't want to cause her any more pain than she already feels. It's just that we didn't grow up with the community she's been living in since she's 19, and now that she's 37, I still don't understand it. Well, okay, there's a lot to be said here. Okay, so first let's look at your first 2 sentences. According to her, most of her friends have at least 10 or 12 children, and she's depressed because she has only 7. I want to suggest a completely different reason for why she is depressed than the one that you assume. What you assume is that she's depressed because she somehow is failing in the unstated competition. There could be another reason. Are you ready? Hold on to your seats. Maybe she sees some intrinsic value in raising children and loves having them. Would that make her strange? Not a lot stranger than Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah. They all yearned for children. Why didn't they say enough? When Leah already had children, she already gave birth to her, quote, fair share of tribes. She still yearned for more. Where was she coming from? So I want to tell you why, and I'm going to give you an allegory that you might be able to relate to better. Could you picture an artist saying, I've had enough of creativity, no more paintings for me? Could you picture somebody who really loves the give and take of law, saying, this is my last case willingly? course not, because what people treasure most of all is self-actualization and creativity. And there's nothing that even holds a candle to raising a child. Not art, not professional life, nothing. But that feeling is conditional, and the condition is that you're willing to invest yourself in your child. There's nothing that exciting about the external side of child raising. The soul-to-soul stuff is what's exciting. So that may be where your sister is coming from. So you ask, are religious Jews really expected to repopulate the world? So, expected to? No, I would imagine even if every religious Jew would have 20 children, we would still remain a minority in the world. However, I want to tell you one thing